Warning friends, there are some major spoilers in this upcoming video pertaining to Avengers Endgame. If you haven't seen the film, first off, what are you doing? Second, you may want to hop on over to our channel and watch a different Avengers themed video. We have plenty. Alright, now that that's out of the way, welcome to Top 10 Nerd everybody. After the events of Avengers Endgame, the Avengers lineup is looking pretty slim. Captain America retired, Iron Man is dead, Thor is off gallivanting with the Guardians of the Galaxy, Black Widow is also dead, Hawkeye is doing something, probably family related, and Professor Hulk, well, we're not exactly sure what's going on there. What we do know though is that the main lineup has now disassembled after the epic conclusion of the Infinity Saga. And while we're sad to see so many of our favorites go, we're also excited to see what heroes will come out of the woodwork to join up with the Avengers moving forward, assuming that the team continues into the next several phases of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So today we're giving you our best guesses as to who we think may earn a spot on the new iteration of the team, with our list of the top 10 superheroes that will become a part of the next Avengers. Told you, super spoilery guys. Like I may have just single-handedly ruined the movie for some of you, but that's your fault, you were warned. Starting us off in at number 10, Professor Hulk. While it seems that it's a given that Clint Barton would want to return to his family as he initially planned before Captain America Civil War, and end up doing whatever his Disney Plus show will have him up to, one major question left hanging about the previous Avengers team is what on earth the Hulk is going to do now. It seems that Professor Hulk, the nickname of the Banner and Hulk fusion that he's become, may act as a scientific advisor of sorts to the new Avengers, or perhaps even find himself on the team. With Fury seemingly having his hands full with this multiverse business, who better to help rally the troops, inspire them, and keep them up to date with what's scientifically what, than a Genius X member of the previous iteration. Plus, who doesn't love Mark Ruffalo? Please keep him, Marvel Studios. In at number 9, the Wasp. When the team first formed in 1963 in the Avengers issue 1, Earth's mightiest heroes consisted of Iron Man, Thor, the Hulk, Ant-Man, and the Wasp, with Captain America joining after he was defrosted in issue 4. Their very first mission had them pitted against Thor's brother Loki, and the group realized how well they worked together, deciding that they should form a team. It was Wasp who named the group Avengers, a slightly different take than how the name came to be in the MCU. But it does bring to attention the fact that Wasp was once a very important character in the comics as far as the Avengers were concerned, and remained that way in the comics for years and years. Giving the MCU version of her more of a chance to shine, despite, not being the original Janet Van Dyne, may go a long way with comic fans who adored the original iteration of the team, and would love to see part of that adapted into the films. Moving on to number 8, Ant-Man. Scott Lang has definitely earned his stripes in the MCU. Now with 2 solo features and playing a major role in reversing the snap in Endgame, Ant-Man is very much a hero who has come into his own, and would add a really solid set of skills to a new Avengers team. Plus, he'd make for some fantastic banter, especially when paired up with the likes of some of the more serious heroes that the MCU has to offer. His inclusion would be yet another way to fill the Iron Man-shaped void in the team, especially from a scientific perspective. Scott has Hank Pym at his side, who just so happens to also be the father of the new Wasp, Hope. And with the multiverse now very much a thing in the MCU, Hank's involvement and work with the quantum realm could really go a long way in fighting whatever threat the gang faces next, especially if it's the highly speculated Kang the Conqueror, who's all about his time travel and hopping around different dimensions. In at number 7, Sam Wilson. At the end of Avengers Endgame, we saw Steve Rogers return as an old man after his mission with the Infinity Stones to pass on the mantle of Captain America to his successor, which was none other than Falcon Sam Wilson. While some fans were up in arms over the choice, a lot of people felt that it should have been Bucky or that Steve and Bucky deserved better closure, we now have the opportunity to really see Sam shine, and kick some major butt as a completely different kind of Captain America. Where the mantle will take him, who knows, but what we do know is that he does stand a solid chance of ending up on the Avengers. The one argument against that though is the fact that he's slated to have a show coming up on Disney's streaming service alongside the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes, and quite frankly, watching those two in some sort of buddy comedy action-packed program may just be enough to satisfy us. Can the Avengers do without another Captain America? Well, only time will tell. And at number 6, Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange always seems to be a superhero living just on the outside of the core group of characters in the MCU. He's a very important hero though, being a connection to all things mystical, having a ceaseless stream of wisdom and knowledge that has really come in handy in the past. And he's slated to get a sequel solo film too. While we'd love to see Doctor Strange join up with the Avengers, we'd be curious to see how his dynamic would play into the team, now that the seemingly ripe combination of Iron Strange is behind us. That is the ship name for Doctor Strange and Iron Man, in case you were wondering. We'll never forget how fantastic their banter was. And at number 5, Sheree. When Sheree first appeared in the MCU in Black Panther, we quickly learned how completely badass she was. Not only is she the smartest person in the MCU currently, she's also incredibly charismatic. And the internet was quick to ship her and Peter Parker, despite the two never having met. Now imagine an iteration of the Avengers in which her and Spider-Man gallivanted around, being the best of pals, saving lives, and kicking crime's butt. It may be wishful thinking, but Sheree being added to the team would be a wise choice, especially since she has so much to offer when it comes to brains and brawn. Speaking of badass women, in at number 4, Valkyrie. Now that Thor's off somewhere in space, who better to replace him on the team than another Asgardian? One who was given the throne to New Asgard and reigns as queen. Valkyrie was a huge hit in Thor Ragnarok, to the point where fans expressed their disappointment that she was nowhere to be seen in Avengers Infinity War. Now that changed in Endgame, when the badass hero played by Tessa Thompson showed up on a freaking Pegasus. Stop! Could you be any cooler? She'd definitely be able to fill in for the God of Thunder, and may even add a bit of romance to the team too. The internet has been hardcore shipping her and a certain character played by Brie Larson, who most definitely will end up on the Avengers team. So who knows what the future holds. Regardless, Valkyrie has proven to be capable of kicking major butt, and she'd definitely have a solid chance for membership, with her potentially being able to give us a few comical moments similar to Thor's when it comes to understanding Earth's social norms. Except more sarcastic, we hope. Moving on to number 3, Black Panther. Black Panther proved to be one of the most popular and successful solo films that the MCU has released to date. T'Challa, the King of Wakanda, is a character who has a whole lot of story left to explore, and we already know that a sequel is in the works. It seems likely that Marvel Studios would want to continue the hype around Black Panther, and explore more of what Wakanda and the character's history in the comics has to offer, by plopping him into Marvel's team of mighty heroes. I mean, come on, Black Panther would be a dope addition to the Avengers. He's already fought alongside them too, he knows his way around a battle, and he's a king. Talk about resources. I don't got that Stark money no more, that's for sure. Too soon? And at number 2, Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is the most powerful superhero we've encountered so far in the MCU. And that's a fact, confirmed by Marvel Studios themselves. Captain Marvel, aka Carol Danvers, has a whole lot of story to explore, which is yet another fact confirmed by the studios. Her first feature film gave us a look at her backstory, set up the political landscape between two major warring extraterrestrial races, and gave us a glimpse at just what Carol is capable of doing on the battlefield. We got to see her in action yet again in Endgame, even holding her own against Thanos, who was wearing the Infinity Gauntlet at the time. So naturally, many people believe she'll be the one to step in Captain America's shoes, acting as the leader of the Avengers, with at least another 2 solo films likely on their way if the rollout of Phase 2 and 3 are anything to go by. Plus, she already has a connection to S.H.I.E.L.D. via her pal Nick Fury, or I guess what's left of S.H.I.E.L.D. So it seems that she's perfectly set up to join the team, assuming she's done with her spacefaring days for a while. And finally, in at number 1, Spider-Man. In Avengers Infinity War, Tony Stark made Peter Parker an official Avenger, something the youngster at the time was ecstatic over, despite, being thrust into space. Now that Tony has died, many people believe that Peter will really have to step up, which is something that was only further emphasized in the trailers for Spider-Man Far From Home. Based on his experience and the fact that he's got quite the intellect, it seems likely that Parker will be learning the meaning of great power means great responsibility sooner rather than later, now being one of the only heroes that the likes of Nick Fury can turn to in a time of need. And from a strictly marketing purpose, you know damn well that Marvel Studios is going to keep Spider-Man around for a long time. He's young, he's charismatic, and he's the publisher's biggest hero as far as the comics are concerned. So expect to see Peter Parker as part of the team in upcoming phases. That's practically a certainty. Alright, there we have it friends. What other heroes from the MCU would you like to see land a spot in the Avengers? Do you think anyone who hasn't been introduced already might end up becoming an Avenger? And do you think we won't see a new iteration of the team until Phase 5? Give us a shout in those comments below and let us know all of your thoughts, theories, and opinions. If you dug this video, spread that love, hit that like button, and be sure to subscribe to Top 10 Nerd for more videos just like this one. In the meantime though, thanks for watching friends. I'll catch you all in the next video.